Yeah, yeah. Fresh out the cell with a plan and a boo. Ain't clip beeping, but my heart's beating for you. Let's go. Met her on a prison pen pal site. She said you cute even in that orange light. Now I'm home and I'm free, kinda on probation. She picked me up in a Prius, pure elation. Got a teardrop tat and a heart full of dreams. She brought cupcakes and some government cheese. I said, girl, you a snack, maybe even a feast. She said, you just hungry cause you live with the beast. Love after lockup, wild and free. Got no keys, but she got the key to me. From yard time to FaceTime, look at us glow. From prison phone calls to reality show. Love after lockup, we don't play. Tinder got nothing on JPay. I did my time, now I'm doing hers. Doing laundry and love, both in spurts.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Love After Lockup Lockdown, where we are covering Season 2, Episode 37. As always, you can find us in our Facebook group and on Instagram at Love After Lockup Lockdown. I'm Jennifer.
And I'm Lisa.
And this week we're covering Season 2, Episode 37, Blinded by Love. Lisa, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Fantastic.
I'm going to talk about numbers just real quick here. Our Facebook group is now over 55,000 members. Our Facebook page, which is where our main groupies for our show go to get the information on when the new episodes are posted, that's to almost 2,500. We have 175 followers on Spotify. We have nearly 200 on Apple. Our listens on Apple are 10,000. Our listens on Spotify are almost 8,000. This is overwhelming. Thank you, everyone who listens and who's gotten us this far, this fast. We have a new season coming up of Love During Lockup. So we're going to be super busy in our Facebook group, and it's going to be crazy. By the time this episode comes out that we're recording today, that fire will already have been started and we'll be a couple episodes in. And the Facebook group is a lot of work for the three of us, but we're doing our best. So whoever's in it, we're trying.
Bear with us. Well, this week we are starting with Lacey, John, and Shane. And Shane and Lacey are going cake testing for their wedding.
All right. This is going super fast here. Like, this is not a lot of time that has passed. We're already doing a cake tasting. They've been together for a very, very little while, very short while. And Lacey says, of course, that they have really, 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 really good sex because that is what you base a good relationship on, whether or not the sex is good.
That's all you need to know, I think, right? Isn't that why Tinder's so popular?
Yeah, I mean, this is Lacey's number one criteria for a man. We got it.
Are you sexy and are you good in bed? Thank you.
Yep. Lacey needs to figure out that she's not going to be young for well, she isn't that young, but she's in her 30s, but this doesn't last forever. Sooner or later, she can be a cougar sooner or later. And all that facial surgery, that's just going to make you look a lot older. She heavily filters her shit. If you go on her Instagram, you can see what she really looks like. Nothing like the pictures she posts. Nothing.
Right. Yeah. You can't bank on your looks forever, you know?
No. And they're not even real. She's essentially catfishing the world. She had some photos of her after getting her hair done, and you can see her face, barely any makeup, no filters whatsoever. I mean, it's weathered. You can tell she had a lot of sun. You guys are getting catfished. All those men out there are like, oh, I'd bang her. Go look at her Instagram.
So at this point, like you said, they haven't known each other very long, and they're getting married in 2 weeks.
She says he's her soulmate.
Yeah.
She says he's her soulmate on the basis of fucking what?
The 3 weeks they've known each other.
Crazy. We know these two are not married anymore. Let's just put it that way.
But they did get married.
Yeah, they legitimately got married, but they're no longer married. I don't know how long it takes them to get divorced, but they're no longer married. they're having a beach wedding. So definitely when the cake lady's like, what do you want? They're like something beachy.
Beachy.
Of course.
Lacey said she's glad that he took over with all his wedding and cake expertise. Where would he get wedding and or cake expertise in his history?
He does tell us actually where he got this from, this cake expertise. It comes a little bit later. You may not have caught it.
I must have missed it.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. Shane's still on the decorations, and he's like, well, maybe some seashells or something, or like some seahorses in the background.
Some seahorses. Nothing says romance like seahorses.
You know,
Well, actually,
he says that he wants. He goes, oh, how about the pineapple? And then he's like, oh, red velvet. Oh no, he does not like red velvet. And I actually Googled red velvet because I know that red velvet cake. What is wrong with me today? Am I having a stroke? I know that red velvet cake basically just tastes like a vanilla cake with some red dye in it. So it is essentially vanilla cake with a little bit of cocoa in it, and it's just red food dye. So he's just saying he doesn't like vanilla cake essentially.
but he does talk about now here. This must be what you were referring to, how he knows so much about cake. I remember now. He said that he got to know about cake because the people he was locked up with in prison made all kinds of great cakes. So he's talking about the prison cakes.
Yeah, if you ask the right person on the internet, Shane knows a lot more about different kinds of cake other than the kind you eat. But anyways, Shane's got a giant hickey on his neck. Did you pick up on that?
No, I didn't. So Shane asks Lacey if she's heard from John and if he knows that they're going to get married. And she says no, he doesn't know, and she hasn't heard from him.
That is a big fat lie. Did you catch the part where Lacey also said that Shane is being a groomzilla because he's being picky about the cake?
Yes.
She lets us in on the secret that she's actually going to go see John. Behind Shane's back, are we shocked about this at all? Absolutely not. She's lying because this is what Lacey does best. She tells Shane she's going to go with Miranda to dress shop.
But not what she's doing.
No.
Next up, it's my good friend Cheryl and her beau Josh. And Cheryl's sister Lacey comes in for a visit and almost immediately starts questioning Cheryl about Josh.
Yeah. She asks about Josh's job and money and their future. And Cheryl just says that Josh does have a job. He just has not gotten a check yet because he's biweekly. Listen, Josh, I know you're in jail, but I get you. I feel you on this because I'm biweekly and it sucks ass.
So Cheryl tells Lacey that Josh is going to put his money into paying off his restitution, his 84,000 or whatever dollars that he has in restitution.
Mm-hmm. He wants to get his license back and everything. And her sister says, have you ever heard yourself talk? She's like, he wants. But that's normally what we are hearing when we hear Cheryl talk.
Mm-hmm.
So her sister's hearing Cheryl's side of everything, but not hearing Josh, because what we see is different than this whole scenario that her sister is saying. She's blaming shit on Josh, but really what we're seeing the problem is right now is Cheryl.
And again, I mean, from the claims of everybody who's ever been on the show, you can't believe what you see on the show, you know. Some of them, you can't believe everything you see on the show, and other people say you can't believe any of what you see on the show.
Yeah. Now Cheryl comes out to like Josh's defense, not to his face, but because her sister's picking on Josh. But I think it's because Cheryl's taking it to heart, feeling like as if essentially her sister's picking on her choices because Josh is her choice. And she's basically like, well, this is Josh's money. Like he can do with what he wants to do with it. But then she goes on to say, this is our money. Okay, we spoke about this before. Like, do they share their money? They went to the bank, they got a bank account. We think they're sharing their money, right?
I don't know. I mean, at least I think that she gave him the money to start his account. I don't know if they commingled their funds, but I think that she gave him the money to start the account for sure. I mean,
Mhm.
Lacey asks her if she's been giving him an allowance like she was when he was locked up. And she was like, no, the hotel's expensive. And she says she's sending money to her parents to take care of her kids, as you fucking should be, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Then Lacey, who we do know was a or is a prison security guard or a correctional officer. Let's say it correctly because I couldn't think of the word. She says that men will write multiple women just to get money on their books. I don't think that's what happened with Josh. I really don't. I don't see it. It doesn't feel like that was the case with this one here. I don't know. For some reason I don't think he was using Cheryl.
I don't know, man. Yeah, I don't know.
It doesn't seem like it. It doesn't give that vibe. He actually did seem like he was generally interested in Cheryl and not like using her.
Like, why would he put up with all of that nonsense if he didn't care about her at all? He could have jumped ship way earlier.
And he was trying to have a baby with her while he was still incarcerated. So, usually if you're using a woman for money, you're not like, hey, let me put this baby inside of you so that when I get out, I can walk away from you and then have to pay child support. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Then go back to prison for non payment.
So Lacey says that she thinks that Cheryl is unhappy, and that's why she's in a relationship with Josh. And on a very large scale, that makes sense.
Yeah, I really do. I really do feel like Cheryl is not happy with life in any way, shape, or form. She looks miserable. She comes off as miserable. Definitely agree.
And Cheryl says she wants Lacey and Josh to meet. Next up, Angela and Tony. And she says, welcome to your home, honey. And he says, uh huh.
Yeah. She would like to believe that Tony is not playing her. Yeah. So would we all, but
Oh, man. She says she loves Tony and he loves her, but he has to be honest about Michelle.
yeah, she doesn't want to let him into her bed until she knows the story about Michelle, the truth about Michelle.
Getting the complete truth out of Tony is something I don't think is ever going to happen for anyone.
No. And even what truth he speaks, you just want to hit him across the face. It's like, dude, you just told the truth, but in the most narcissistic fashion humanly possible. He says he wants to be completely honest with her. And he was with Michelle the night that he went missing from the halfway house. You don't say.
I am shocked.
That's so shocking.
And here's the thing is he says he met Michelle while he was working at the hotel. So here's what I'm wondering. Maybe what's her name who Angela confronted was just like Tony was seeing Michelle and he was like, "Oh, it's Wanda," or whatever the hell that lady's name was. And that way if Angela ever showed up, she'd see her and be like, "Well, Tony's probably not going to cheat on me. She's not a young looking girl."
Yeah, but he expresses so many times that he likes older women, but I just don't think that that's true. I
I don't
really
think
don't
that's
feel that's
true
true.
either.
No,
Mm-mm.
I really don't. So, like you said, Michelle is a girl that he worked with at the hotel, and he says she's a friend, and they went to go play basketball together. So, it wasn't a guy that he was going to play basketball with. It was apparently this Michelle person, if that's even her real name. And he said he got a hotel room with Michelle. I'm going to assume at the hotel that he worked at, I guess.
Well, she was saying to him, he was like, yeah, we went to play basketball. She's like, I read the messages, dude. Like, there's no way that's what you did. I know that there was more than that. And then he was like, oh, yeah, we got a hotel room. And then he's like, oh, I did it because I had been locked up for so long. Angela just took you. Like, if you had been locked up so long, you would have chosen the blowjob, not the steak.
Exactly. Basically, what he was saying to her is, yeah, I was out. I just got out. I have been in prison for a long time, but I know I could have. I had you. You're waiting in the wings for me, but there was someone better that I decided to be with instead.
Yep. I mean,
Oh,
exactly. It's so, and he's so in her face about it too.
here she's sitting there like, dude, I offered you sex. And you run off and have it with someone else.
Right. He's like, well, I was an attention whore. Well, you fucking think?
Yeah. And then he's like, oh, blah, blah, blah. I had an opioid addiction for 10 years. And then now I have a new addiction because I'm no longer addicted to opioids. Now I'm addicted to women.
Mm-hmm. You're addicted to excuses is what you're addicted to.
Dude, this guy's a piece of trash, man.
Right. She asks him if there's anyone other than Michelle, and he's like, no. Come on now. Come
Right.
on.
He said after the night with Michelle, he just drove around a while. Yes, running from the friggin' authority.
Just had to clear my head, running from the authorities, you know. He could have just gone back at that point. He could have gone to a hotel with Michelle, come back to the halfway house the next morning, and they wouldn't have done probably half of what, because he had 24 hours to report, didn't he? Isn't that what they told Angela?
Yeah, absolutely. And also, this driving around thing, he doesn't have a car. So this means he was driving around with Michelle.
So then he's got to change the subject real quick. And he says that he wants her bad. And she, of course, is like, okay.
Yeah, he wants to work on honesty in their relationship. Tony, you are the only person thus far who has had an issue with honesty, my friend.
Right. She tells us that she has to forgive him to take the anger out of her heart. You don't. You do not, darling. You do not have to forgive anybody who's done you wrong.
No. She wants to get past this. I understand. She says that. And he's like, I want you so bad. And then they kiss. And I just wrote the word barf in all caps. It was just so cringe.
It was, but that couch they had, every time they moved, their butts made farting noises. So I just laughed and laughed like a child. And I was so hyper focused on that. I got distracted from the grossness that was.
Keeping up with the just awful lines that these people say before they go to the bedroom together. She's like, take me to the bedroom. Oh, do they make them say the worst, cringiest lines before they do this stuff?
They must. Because people don't talk like the stuff that people say on the show, people don't say in real life, I don't think.
Oh, gosh. Like, what did Lacey say to Shane? I'm going to make love to you, baby. No one says that shit.
Well, so Tony says that he knows how to get to Angela, and it's with a gentle caress and a kiss.
Oh my god. And then Tony says, this is going to be a good night.
Oh, man. And then we get to go to Lizzie and Daniel, and they're squirting whipped cream in each other's mouths.
Okay. Again, do we need this shit? They're in the hotel room. We clearly know why they had the whipped cream, and I'm like getting nauseated now. We go from Tony and Angela's gross kiss, the farting couch, and take me to the bedroom, to Daniel and Lizzie still in the Paris themed hotel room spraying the whipped cream into each other's mouth that clearly probably touched their body parts, and I'm getting so nauseated.
I mean, they've already had their mouths on each other's body parts, so I don't think it really much matters.
Oh God. All right. And then she says that they've had more sex last night than they've had in 2 weeks.
I like how she, like, 2 weeks. It just seems like a very particular amount to say.
She's been counting.
That's right.
This
That's what
week
it
we
seems
had
like.
sex twice. They haven't even been together.
More than 1 week, less than 3.
Oh, goodness.
So he says that he's overwhelmed by emotions, which I think so. I think Daniel just seems like a gentle soul.
Yeah, he says that they're more bound now than they were before. Okay, yeah, I can definitely see how I mean, this stuff always makes you feel like giddy and like you're like, oh, yay. And then you look towards the future and she's happy, he's happy. Everything's great in this moment. I got it.
Now she says him giving her the ring proves he really wants to be with her.
Yeah, it made it all more real. And then she immediately goes to planning this wedding because weddings take money and Daniel does not have a job.
Right, which
Reality.
is a problem.
Yeah.
But she wants to go tell Teresa right away. And he was like, I do not want to go tell her this right away or probably ever.
Okay, so yeah, he's just like, yeah, I don't want to tell my mom at all. And keeping up with how exciting Lizzie and Daniel are, they are the most exciting couple in the history of Love After Lockup. They pull up to the house and the entire family is there and they're fucking raking rocks. Super exciting.
Lizzie decides to wait to tell Teresa. She's like, oh, I've changed my mind with all these people here. Let's just wait. And that was not in the future for them, because as soon as they pulled up, Teresa asks him if he gave her the ring and how she reacted. And he got pissed. Like, he says, it's just a goddamn present.
Yeah, he was getting aggravated with her and he was getting aggravated with her for no reason because she genuinely seemed excited. She bought this ring she bought it for her. She wanted to know,
Right.
was she happy? Did she like it? Right. So then he basically, after telling Lizzie we should keep this a secret, he just tells everyone they're engaged. And then oddly, Teresa goes up to Lizzie and hugs her. But then she does her like talking head and she's like, it was supposed to be a promise ring.
Well, I mean, it was. And they asked her ahead of time, like, will you be upset if this was an engagement ring? And she's like, yeah, I would. I wouldn't buy it. So he lied to her to get it, to give to her. But Teresa's super cool about the whole thing. And Lizzie's still like, well, whatever Teresa thinks, that's irrelevant.
And again, we hear Teresa say that Lizzie hasn't done enough to prove that she's not good enough for her son. Keep in mind that her son is a former drug addict, a former felon with no job who plays video games all day.
Teresa says she thinks that he proposed because he's worried about losing Lizzie. And I think that's exactly why he did it. You don't, like we talked about, saving a relationship by getting engaged is always a terrible idea.
Yeah, clearly, I really do believe, though, that they do like and love each other. Well, Lizzie less than Daniel, but I do feel like this is one of the realer ones.
So Lizzie asks him why he decided to tell everybody, and he says, I don't like to keep secrets.
Okay.
Next up, Glorietta and Alex. Alex stayed the night at Cato's house. Never went home.
He said he wasn't. They're at Cato's tow yard, I think it was. I guess he owns it. And he is in a trailer, I guess, that was on the property.
I'm not sure. I just know he stayed over there at Cato's.
Looked like just a trailer. I don't know. I guess he stayed alone, right? Looked
It
alone.
looked like it, yeah. So he's going to find Glorietta to end it, I assume? He says he wants to talk to her, but I think we know what's coming.
This couple has the way of having conversations in the worst spots at the
Oh
worst
my
times.
god. The worst.
She's basically at her job. She's well,
Right.
one of her jobs. We find out that this car show thing is a side job for her. It may have once upon a time been her main job. I don't know, but she's doing this for a side job to get extra money for the wedding because her gown is over $5,000, which is
Yep.
wild.
I can't even, like, the position you're in. That's like Cheryl wanting Longhorn in the position that she's in. What?
Yeah.
But Glorietta says that she's not giving up on Alex or their marriage, even though he never came home, even though she has no idea what he did, who he was with, and he hasn't made contact with her yet.
I feel like she's being incredibly tolerant over what Alex is doing, not because this is the type of person she is, but mostly because we just know she just wants this wedding. She just wants to have a wedding and be a bride.
Is she tolerant or naive?
Uh, yeah, she's not the brightest. She's just not the brightest.
They certainly don't make her out to be. And the reason she's working this car show is to make more money, like you said, for this $5,000 dress. So this is all about the wedding.
I found myself thinking, how much could she possibly be making in a night at a car show? Not a lot. She's
No.
just passing out shit. Like, what is that gonna get you? Like
What, a few $100?
$100?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know. She looked like she knew whoever she was working for, so maybe they were paying her a little extra. I don't know.
I don't know.
Alex shows up and asks her again why she loves him, and he says that his mindset could be very attractive because he's a motivated guy who's about his money. What?
Oh, I can't. Um, why do these men walk out of prison and act as if they've got anything going for them whatsoever?
Some of them do. Some of them come out and they have jobs waiting for them, or they have whatever the case may be. But the thing for me is, like, who says
He
that?
has
Like,
nothing.
my mindset is very attractive. Like, he put a lot of thought into that to come up with that. This must be why she loves me.
I have to look him up. I do not know where he is. Do you?
No, I would be so curious to know. We should ask the group.
I'm going to literally afterward. I need to know where this guy is. This guy is just walking around acting as if he is God's fucking gift. He's a little guy. He looks like he belongs in a gang of wannabes. I don't even know what's happening here. He talks about how he thinks that all she wants him for is how sexy he is and his tattoos and stuff. Dude, what is happening here? How much do you think of yourself? You have no job, you have no house, you have no future. You've got some muscles and some fucking tattoos. Join the fucking club because that's just everybody these days.
He's got Juliana, and I think that's where all of this self-confidence is coming from.
But does he even have her? And she just got out of jail and rehab as well. So what does
I don't think she was.
Juliana have?
I don't think
I
she was
thought she
in
was
jail,
in
was
jail
she?
also.
I don't think so.
thought
I think she just
so.
went to rehab.
Oh,
But I could be
well,
wrong.
I don't know. But usually addicts do a stint or two in jail here or there if they're that severe of an addict. But yeah, I think you're right. I think she was not in prison. We know jail and prison are different, and I don't. Maybe I'm just making shit up here.
So she tells him she loves him for him. Well, that was helpful. And everything about him. I would be mad. Like, I'm not going to lie. If I were Alex and she was like, I love you for everything you are, being you. That's not an answer. Like, just fucking answer him, Glorietta, and move on. Like, at dinner, why didn't you say, I love you because you are attractive and you're funny and you make me feel safe and, whatever.
Also, though, and I was watching this with my husband. We were talking, like, I've never in my relationship with my husband asked him or demanded that he tell me why he's in love with me, and he's never done that to me. That's a little weird in itself, though. Tell me why you love me. I demand to know why you love me. Why do you want to marry me? That's really insecure, first of all. You should just know if you're in love.
I think that where it came from was because Juliana and him were having much deeper conversations. He sat and talked to Juliana for presumably hours, and they probably had a deep conversation. And he's going, okay, so this is why Juliana loves me. Why does Glorietta love me? Well, Glorietta is a completely different person who is shallow and probably does only love you for what you represent, and that may be all she's capable of.
But what else is there right now? She doesn't
Yeah.
really know Alex on that level. What else does she know? What is she going to love you for? All you have right now is your stupid muscles and stupid tattoos. That's all you have.
So finally, she says to him that she loves him because he's handsome and always has her back. And that's probably as deep as Glorietta can go.
I don't think it's bad to love someone because they're handsome. It's not the worst thing in the world to be attracted to who you're with.
Not in the slightest, but that can't be the only thing. You can't live a lazy life and
lazy life.
What happens if something happens to you and you can't take care of yourself, even temporarily? Is that person going to be like, you're not sexy anymore, so I'm out of here, or you're out of here, but we're done, You look ugly in that cast.
Seriously, I literally had that was my former life, because I had asked those questions a million times. I'm like, dude, we go any further here, if I get sick or if I'm in a nursing home, you're literally gonna leave me there. So I get it, but I don't feel, and we know this is not why Alex is thinking of these questions and wanting to know. He's fishing. He's trying to basically get Glorietta to be the bad guy and break up with him so that he can walk away and be with Juliana and not be responsible.
100%. He starts gaslighting her into an argument, and she's like, I'm at work. First reasonable thing Glorietta has ever said. Like, she's like, bitch, she didn't say this. I'm saying this for her. What she wanted to say is, bitch, I'm at work. Get the fuck out of my face.
Yeah, and she was being, that had to be terrible. That had to be so embarrassing and terrible for her. And she was trying her best to keep that at bay, but people were looking. He just goes, well, I like to laugh. There's more to me. Well, we all like to laugh, sir. What is your point here?
Glorietta's doesn't strike me as a very funny individual, though. Like Cheryl, I just wouldn't think that Cheryl, you'd have a knee slapper kind of time when you were with her.
No, I mean, I would laugh, but at Glorietta, not like with.
So they start screaming at each other, and people are looking at them. And that can't be good for her, being that she is at work. But then she says that she doesn't know where that attack came from. And I was like, that's a little aggressive of a word to use. He did come in gaslighting her, but he didn't come in attacking her, really. Next up, Vince and Amber, and it's been 6 days since she got out of prison, and they're on their way to her family reunion.
And it feels like a freaking eternity, and we are on day 6.
6.
Crazy. They're driving to the barbecue, like you said, and Vince wants this trip to reignite their fire. Sir, it is not going to happen.
It never ignited to reignite.
Apparently it didn't. He thought it did. And we find out that it never did.
Now, she says that the plan that her and Puppy and her mom had in place was okay in prison, but now that she's out, it's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah. Puppy convinced her that she has to try. So this is why she's got Vince with her. They get there, and Amber's family seems wonderful, and they seem pretty normal. I don't know if maybe just Amber and her mom are the problems in the family, or the black sheep, or I don't know, but they all seem very normal. She's introducing Vince to her brother, her grandma, and everyone's like actually very welcoming.
She says that her dad has been an alcoholic and her mom has been an addict her whole life, and it was her grandparents who raised her.
Yeah, which makes me wonder, because she wasn't raised by her mom. Why did she follow in her mom's footsteps?
I think that a lot of times people seek the approval of their parents almost to a fault, and she could have been led astray that way. Maybe she wanted to bond with her mom and that just led her into using, that could have led her into trafficking. Or what I
Yeah.
don't recall honestly what she was locked up for.
So her family, they want to know where they're going to live. Are they going to live there, or are they going to go live where Vince lives?
And he gets really emotional about it when they ask him. The first time I've honestly seen any emotion out of him, it seemed misplaced.
I thought he was crying. Was he crying?
I think so.
It was weird. Yeah, because I was like, maybe, I don't know, maybe he really does feel something for Amber. I was like, what's happening here?
Maybe he doesn't express his emotions well. I mean, we know he doesn't express his emotions well considering what's happened to him after he was on the show. But so she does tell her sister that if she goes back to prison, it's going to be for life.
Yeah, that was scary, right? That was a scary
Yeah.
statement.
She must have a lot of time, hanging over her head.
Wow. So Amber says that when you're in prison and you know you're disappointing your family, it's very different than being there and hearing it in person, hearing them being upset that you were in prison. Now you're home and they're so happy you're home, and you know what effect it had on them.
That would be hard. Her mom, Monica, calls and starts talking to everyone. Amber puts her on speakerphone, and I think it's her grandma, tells her mom, Monica, that Vince is a great guy and he'll fit right in.
Well, that was sweet though.
It was really sweet.
Grandma. They think that Vince is part of Amber's road to
Redemption.
redemption. I was gonna say success, but that's a bad word with these three. Puppy, Amber, and Vince.
Would that make her Puppy's mom then? If she married Vince? Her
Yes.
stepmom? It reminds me of that song, I'm My Own Grandpa.
Oh my god. You're right. So, okay. So let's just talk about this for a second. Vince successfully adopted Puppy. So, he wants to marry Amber. So, Amber would be Puppy's stepmom, and then Amber's mom would be Puppy's grandma. Right?
Yes.
Oh, weird.
Oh my god.
This is my granddaughter, Puppy.
By
What's
marriage.
her real name? What is her real
Michelle.
name?
Michelle.
Michelle. Okay.
She does look like a little puppy though, doesn't she?
She's a cute little girl.
She is. She's not even a little girl, but it's exactly what you think of when you see her. Like, she's just like a cute little puppy.
Yeah, she does. Yeah, she's not a young girl, but she's this little thing.
So Amber says that she can't keep lying if she wants to move forward in her life. And I think that is a really great revelation. I mean, it's a great revelation and, a big step to actually moving forward.
Yeah.
Next up, Lacey, John, and Shane. And Lacey is so excited about their wedding.
they're arguing about whose vows are better. It's just kind of like that one of those little blurps before the commercial. It's like a 3-second thing. And it was, just a cute little banter. Cute, I don't know, loosely cute.
He tells her to look up how to spell officiant. Oh my goodness. And then she drops him off, and we know where she's going. Next, we're back to Angela and Tony, and they're in bed, and he says, "Last night was amazing."
Oh, yeah. We start this off with a creepy after sex scene.
So, okay, here's my question. They were there when they went back to have their sex. And clearly they were there when they were done having the sex.
Yeah.
So did they just yell out to the living room, "We're done now," and then they let them come in and record them? Their post.
It felt like the next day, though, maybe. I don't know.
It was probably 2:00 in the afternoon.
Weird. I don't know. It looked like morning. It felt like morning to me. Maybe I was just picturing it being morning. I
It
have
could
no
have been.
idea. Angela's wearing like a muscle shirt dress kind of thing, and she's walking around with her cup of coffee and her cig.
Did she have pants on? Like she had any
I don't
pants
think
on?
so. I don't think so. Just like one of those shirts with the sleeves cut off. I think it was Tony's.
I thought something was going to fall out, but it didn't. She said sex was amazing, and she finally got to feel his body, taste him, touch him, and smell him. Ugh.
This was the
You know
point where
what?
Dave said, "I'm going to puke."
You know what? This gives me the hibbity-jibbities.
Oh gosh. Did you watch this with your significant other or your mom?
My mom.
What did she say?
She goes, "Oh." I was like, me too.
It was by far one of the grossest episodes we have covered. I don't think it's it's gonna be the grossest, but so far this takes the cake. It's grosser than Michael and Megan.
Is it grosser than Caitlin and why? I can't remember his name again, but
Caitlin and Matt. Oh, that one was kind of gross. That was gross too.
Field
That's
sex.
gross.
There was also Cheryl and Josh in the field.
Oh, all right. Oh, maybe this just had more overall grossness in it. This was chock full of grossness.
Something gross every minute.
They're smoking cigarettes, and Tony says that sex with Angela was amazing. Then goes into this weird like dicka dicka do song. Like, what is that?
I have no idea. He tells us that he's always been a cougar hunter. Again, like you said, here we are mentioning it again. Who are you trying to convince, buddy?
He's trying to convince Angela. He's like, "Yeah, I'm not using you. I'm into older women." Oh, okay.
I'm sure you are, Tony. So she tells him that she has a surprise for him, and she shows him the motorcycle she bought him. That's a nice ass surprise, man.
Do we even know if this man can legally get a license? It's always what I wonder.
He's been out for like a day, right?
Well, it depends on what you did, whether you had a license before or maybe you still have a license, because licenses now are for like what, 8 years? And so I don't know, but a motorcycle license you have to have that, at least in New York, it's a different license than a car license.
Yeah, here too, I think.
Maybe she's just gonna drive it herself because we saw her driving it, so clearly she rides a bike, and she's just gonna put him on the back, get a sidecar. I don't know, put his little weaselly ass in there.
Weaselly ass. Oh, he says he's in heaven. I sure bet you think you are, motherfucker. Wherever you are, I hope your butthole itches.
Oh, more than that. I hope he has full body lice.
forever that won't go away.
Always. He got it from one of the prostitutes. She says that he's going to use that motorcycle to get back and forth to work. What fucking job? He lost his job, Angela.
I'm sure he could find one, because I don't feel like he's very picky about what he would do.
No, he's going to go work at McDonald's.
Who knows how hard it is to get a job as a felon? Felons, no, I don't know.
I don't think it's very hard, honestly. A lot of jobs hire felons. They get money for it.
So she says that her sister is coming by, and he's not excited about that at all, as he shouldn't be.
Not at all. I forgot to say that she did tell him that she doesn't want to catch him riding some female on the bike or in general. But that's but yeah, sister's coming. So we know sister doesn't like him. And Tony's being a fucking dick. And she's just like, I don't have you here. And
Right.
I'm like, but Angela, listen to yourself. Listen to yourself, because you are saying this, but he's not taking that serious.
Well, he's trying to tell her that now that he's out of prison, they don't even have to tell people that he was ever in prison. And Angela's like, okay, but omission is still a lie. Like, a lie by omission is still a lie.
Yeah. Oh, this is the line that made me want to reach through the screen, take this man by the neck, and just wring it. He says to her, I just want you to know that I've made sacrifices too. Bitch. What?
What the fuck? Oh, yeah, I got loud.
Oh.
And she's like, what sacrifices? As we were all saying, what the fuck sacrifices did you make?
His only thing he could come up
moist
with
motherfucker.
The only thing he could come up with was The only thing he could come up with was, oh, I made a big leap of faith coming to live with you here, because otherwise you would have been living on the damn streets.
You'd be in a halfway house for the next 12 years.
Well, you can only stay in a halfway house for, I believe, a year, and that's it. Some are only 6 months.
Well, then he's got to go back. He's got to take a trip back to prison, and then he can take a trip back to the halfway house. What do they do with those people? Yeah. So he says he regrets what he did to her, but he thinks it's time to move on. It's time to move on. You did nothing. Nothing. What did you do to prove to her that you are not fucking up? Nothing. The same thing Tracy did to prove to Clint's mom that she was rehabilitated.
Exactly. And then this douchebag says, I'm going to make life easier for you by helping pay the bills and stuff and giving you someone to sleep with every night. Holy shit.
Yeah, he says he could easily have his own home in a month or two if he went back to California. My ass.
It goes on. He transferred prisons to be closer to her.
So he says.
Oh, God.
He says he doesn't want to be bitched at his whole life, and if she doesn't stop, he's going to have to set boundaries of his own. She should have throat punched that motherfucker. She should have straight throat punched him right there repeatedly. Shut the fuck up.
Oh,
I mean,
God.
I don't condone violence or anything. I was just saying in theory.
I can't. This bitch, he's like, I don't hear any appreciation on your end for any sacrifices made to be with you.
Girl. So he says he's going to give it 3 months, and if she's still talking about it, he's done.
Oh my God. I mean, okay. I don't know who might remember watching this episode. This douche is sitting there in this an outfit that my boys would have worn when they were 10 years old, with fucking facial pubes, looking like a big fat loser, speaking this shit. I'm like, take his ass and push him out the door, like right now. Call Tommy, he'll do it for you.
Tommy will take care of you.
Yeah.
Tommy will hire somebody to take care of it for you.
Oh,
Next up, Cheryl and Josh. And Lacey, Cheryl, and Josh meet at a little diner-looking restaurant, not the same one, presumably, that Lacey and Shane got engaged in.
No, yeah. This looked like a nicer diner than that. Food looked good. So it's better than a stack of pancakes. Cheryl tells her sister to be nice to Josh, and Josh says, I'm nervous about meeting Cheryl's sister because I don't like prison guards. I bet that you don't. Some are all right and some suck.
Which can be said for any group of people, really. I mean, there are very few that are all good or all bad. The first thing Lacey says, though, she starts talking to Josh and she's like, "Oh, are you paying?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'll pay." That was rude, Lacey. That was uncalled for. You did not need to approach that whole situation like that. You could have said hi. There's just,
Yeah, Josh is not a mean or nasty guy in any way. He seems okay. That was kind of douchey of her. I didn't like that. And then he does say I'll pay, so that was kind of a slap in the face to her. Sure, yeah. Hey.
Yeah, I gotcha. No problem. So Lacey asks him why he went to prison, and he was like, "Which time?" Because he's been 3 times. He's been to prison 3 times. Now 4, at least.
Yeah, and he's just like, well, I robbed a bank, and Cheryl's sister just said, that's it.
So then Lacey asks him how he's going to pay off his $84,000 in fines. It's 12% interest, and he'll never get it paid, so that's not something that he's putting too much brain power into right now, which is fair. You're never going to pay that off.
We did do the math on that. He is correct. Sometimes Josh isn't a dumbass, and he makes a lot of sense, and that he will never pay this off in his lifetime unless he wins the lottery or gets a really good job. I don't know. And it's probably not going to be a priority, and he's not really required to pay more than he's required to pay. So Cheryl says that since Josh has been out of prison, she's given him about $2,300. Not a large amount of money by any stretch of the imagination. He did walk out with absolutely nothing. So
well, yeah, but then Lacey points out, like, "Hey, dude, you are wearing an expensive watch." And then Cheryl gets super defensive and she starts yelling, and they're in the restaurant and she starts losing her mind.
Yeah, and here's where she says, well, what we do with our money is what we do with our money. Now, she said the word "our," and we did wonder whether or not they're sharing money. I did say in episodes past, is the bank scene, I really, really, really hope that Cheryl is not linking her bank accounts to this dude because of his past. It's not the smartest thing to do. We want to believe that Josh wouldn't fuck her over financially like that, but all signs point to do not link your money to this
Right.
man.
Yeah. Lacey gets pissed off and she walks off.
Yeah. So here's where Cheryl suddenly became human, and I didn't hate her in this moment. So she says, and this is the first time we hear anything about Cheryl's true background. She used to be out doing drugs, and then she was a stripper, and she had no money. So she's turned her life around within the last 5 years, and if she feels like if she can do it, he can do it too.
Yeah, I mean, she started drinking by the time she was 14 and started stripping by 18, which, and a lot of people will say they started at 18, but they started much younger.
Yeah, and then she was doing cocaine, and then within a month, she was doing pills. So she was what made her stop doing drugs is that she woke up one morning, she was in the club, she had done so much Xanax on top of cocaine that the next morning she literally just woke up in the dressing room of the club, where
Right.
I'm assuming she was a stripper.
Lacey does say before she leaves that she's worried about Cheryl, and I think she has the right to be, and she has the right to her feelings. especially with Cheryl having a history of making, poor decisions.
Yeah, his sister gets so pissed. I have a hard time calling her Lacey because her name is Lacey, but Lacey takes her mic off and just basically gets pissed off and walks away.
The problem is that Cheryl is still screaming, and I mean, even louder and more irrational. And she says that she's come a long way from being an addict. And that's great. The problem is you are now screaming at the top of your lungs in a restaurant parking lot to somebody who is down the street.
Yeah, she's fired up about all this, and I guess a little bit understandably at this point. I'm not super pissed at Cheryl in this episode. Meanwhile, Josh is in the restaurant and he takes his food and just leaves all the rest of it there.
Not his problem.
I mean, he paid for her. Feel like I paid for all this. Box this all up. I'm taking this all with me.
Box it up. I got dinner tonight. And Lacey tells us that she thinks Cheryl is blinded by love and not acting like herself. So it's kind of, if Cheryl is making bad decisions and not acting like herself, which part of this is not acting like herself? Because the show has made it look like this is exactly who she is and she's always making stupid decisions. So that just kind of struck me as what part of what she's doing is not acting like herself.
Yeah.
Next, Lacey, John, and Shane. And Lacey calls John to get his location so she can go see him.
Oh, she feels guilty for going to see John without Shane knowing. No, she fucking doesn't.
No, she doesn't. Nope, not even a little bit. Yeah, when I put that note in there, I have in parentheses lies.
And then she gets there and she is immediately flirting with John, and he's flirting back. Of course he's flirting back because he knows that you will flirt with him back. So it will just be a back and forth flirting. He knew you were going to flirt with him before you got there.
Of course. Oh, you look so much better than you did when you walked out of jail. Well, no shit. Who wouldn't? Like, you go home and get a shower, get a haircut, and you're not going to look better than you would when you walked out of fucking jail?
I know, he just got through a very stressful experience. Of course he looks better now, you fucking dumbass.
She does say that her and John are over, but she wants him to do the paternity test with Marlo.
Yeah. And then she says that the results will be available within 2 business days, which was a little shocking to me. I'm like, really? Is that how fast it is?
I think it's pretty quick now, yeah. She said it's important for clarity's sake to get it done before her wedding to Shane, for clarity's sake.
Yeah, and John wants Marlo to be his son. I'm hoping for the right reasons. I'm hoping not for the wrong reasons. We did hear that he does really seem to love her kids and still will be there for them even though they aren't his. Well, we don't know if they're all not his.
Who knows? Who knows whose kids they are?
Yeah, and John's like, well, what's going on with your little Backstreet boy?
Yeah. He calls him a little kid. I mean, yeah. So she tells him that she's marrying Shane, and John asks if he has a job and if he can pay the bills. And she's like, no, as John is at work.
Yeah, here they're just sitting in the back of a customer's house, I guess, sitting on the back porch, like, smoking cigarettes, talking about this. This is a customer's house.
It certainly seems that way, unless they're like, John, go out behind your house and pretend you're fixing your HVAC system. But John says that Shane is going to use her until he's done with her, and then he's feeling frustrated.
I don't believe that's the case here. I get it, but I don't think so. We know that that's not really the case.
No, he wants it to be the case.
Yeah, he does. Does he have a job yet? And then he said he's just going to use you until you divorce him, and that Shane's a loser, and I have a future and he does not.
Yeah, he tells her not to marry Shane, and then he asks her for a kiss, but surprisingly, she does say no. So I would have thought she would have done it.
Me too. I really, really thought that this was going to go in a different direction. Even though she is hiding this from Shane, she shouldn't have had to hide this from him.
Yes.
One, if she wasn't planning on maybe possibly doing something she shouldn't do.
Mm-hmm.
So she wants John to be happy for her. That is a crazy statement. He's not going to be happy for you. He thought he was coming out to his fiance in a place to live.
And
The
instead he got
children.
the Backstreet Boy.
Oh,
So then she tells us that she's still attracted to him. Well, no shit. We saw that the second you laid eyes on him.
yeah, she's like, I'm always going to be attracted to Chan.
Chan. And John says, she'll do the right thing. She'll come back to me. Do you believe that, dude?
No, and I'll call you when the results come in. Well, how sweet of you.
Who is your VIP for this week?
All right. I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I'm going to give it to Cheryl this time, only because there wasn't a lot of choices in this one. And I really thought that Cheryl finally became human and told us a little bit about why she may be how she is.
I chose Cheryl's sister Lacey for trying to stand up for her, even though maybe it wasn't warranted as aggressively as she may have done. And your POS?
I could have chose a couple, but absolutely hands down, Tony. He is just the trash of the earth.
I also chose Moist Tony.
Oh, garbage human. Garbage human.
So that's about it for this week's episode. If you enjoyed the podcast, head over to Apple or Spotify to rate and review. If you'd like to continue the conversation, join our group on Facebook at Love After Lockup, Locked Down. Listen every Wednesday wherever you find your podcasts, and keep those notifications on to be the first to catch bonus episodes.
And in the meantime, don't fall in love.
And don't get locked up.
First date at Walmart, keeping it low. Told the clerk, don't judge me, I'm on parole. I brought roses, okay, 1 rose from a gas station. She said, oh babe, now that's validation. We be vibing in a halfway suite. Microwave dinners, romance elite. She my ride or die, she brought me a phone. Even snuck it in once, pre-release song. She hold me down like a key-o with charm. Except she don't mace me or twist my arm. We write vows in Sharpie on my court docs. Judge said no contact, but we beat the clocks. Love after lockup, cuffed and proud. Matching jumpsuits, now we rockin' the crowd. She said, don't mess up, I said, bet. Now we're TikTok stars with no regrets. So here's the love and second chance thrill. From a concrete bed to Netflix and chill. They said, don't catch feelings, but I caught a case of butterflies, girl, not just in one place. Ankle monitor beep. Oops, curfew gotta bounce.